welcome back to Thirsty Thursday. Hi, Will.
Hi, Susan. How are you today?
Good. And we've got a few stories to cover, so let's get straight to it. We wanted to start when, what are marketers and founders in the general world out there thirsty for? And it appears almost universally that everyone's thirsty for NFTs or non-fungible tokens, which is the cryptocurrency world. And I think what stood out for me was Charmin, the brand.
The toilet paper brand.
The toilet paper brand that's created an NFT of toilet paper, which is wicked smart in my opinion, because this is that whole idea of rise of tech-savvy brands like toilet paper and the whole prohibition toilet paper of 2020. I thought it was interesting to convert that into an NFT. Now, I don't know exactly what an NFT is or what the benefit of those things are.
Nobody really does get this, but I sort of get the sense where it's a unique digital print of something. So, in the art world, you have the Mona Lisa. There's only one Mona Lisa that you own. This is kind of the art world's, the music world's version of that. It's a digital original that you can own and trade. And there's like, what is that called? That chain of stuff, blockchain that proves it really is you who own the original. And they're going for thousands and hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars. This is this huge thing that's popped up recently. So it's funny that brands are now popping on the NFT bandwagon. I did read Susan, when you pointed this out, Pizza Hut Canada, they're hopping on this NFT thing too. They're releasing their 5 original recipes as NFTs that you can buy. So you can buy one slice from an original Pizza Hut pizza, and what you get is a blurry digital piece of pepperoni pizza if you could buy that pizza. I still don't understand why somebody wants that, but it is a thing, and it's confusing but interesting to me.
So that's the whole idea of tech-savvy brands who are jumping into the new age of technology and leading the way. That seems to be a thing. Yeah.
And then I did want to talk about, so I watched the 4-part documentary series that HBO put out, Allen versus Farrow. It revisits the early 90s scandal, I guess, where Woody Allen left Mia Farrow, dated for a long time, then married Mia Farrow's stepdaughter. I don't think it was his stepdaughter really, but married Suni, her stepdaughter. Also, this documentary goes into the allegations by Dylan, Mia's young daughter, and and Woody Allen's daughter too, of sexual molestation, basically, when she was 7. And I remember this. I remember kind of all this happening. But like many people, I think we did think that we believed Woody's narrative back then a little bit more, that Mia was unhinged and vengeful and coming after him and manipulating Dylan. So you see this all play out. You see the backstory and you see the evidence that really was there. And there is a very strong case that these allegations are true. What again hit me was how we used to treat women. In the narrative, we would assign women, oh, she's hysterical, she's unhinged, she's a woman scorned. And therefore, we just kind of all believed that. Whether or not we thought Woody was a creep, we just believed that, Mia was kind of like, Mia's off her rocker. So it's again going back to this revisiting of how we treated women in the media in the 90s and in the 2000s. Also, good news, I think a lot of Hollywood has finally stopped working with Woody Allen. Up until like his career didn't suffer at all. Mia's career suffered. His career was gangbusters until Dylan wrote an essay that came out in the Los Angeles Times in 2017, that finally some of the actresses and actors who had worked with Woody Allen were like, oh shit, like maybe I shouldn't have done that. So that's good. And it's a really fascinating 4-part documentary. So if you haven't watched it, I say go watch it.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, it's sad, isn't it, that it wasn't that far in the past that it was automatically assumed that if someone said a woman was crazy, we just believe that narrative.
We totally just believe it. Yeah.
Another thing that marketers for sure are super thirsty for, and many brands as well, is the audio phenomenon, or just sort of moving from multi-format to just pure audio. Obviously, Clubhouse is is taking the lead on it, and some of their FOMO marketing has worked to attract all kinds, us included. And so after silently lurking and having a couple of interesting celeb sightings, we eventually created our first Clubhouse room yesterday, and we had some cool people join us on it. It's fun. I like it, Will, because it's got all of the cool things and you're like, ew. But that said, we've always talked about how the audio medium, because of the smart speaker, is something that you definitely want to, have content in, and having some prowess in that area is not a bad thing. I'm struggling to establish how you might actually map this back to your business. I think it's really more of an awareness and an experience thing. And it's going to have a big high and a big dip and, stuff like that. But you were talking to me about how collectives of these influencers in audio are forming.
Yeah. And I want to say I really enjoyed our little time on Clubhouse yesterday with some of our good friends and marketing whizzes that we know. But I wonder, when you do go in, like you said, when you go into a big room where there's there's the hosts and then you're one of thousands in the audience, you might get to say something, you might not get to say something. Maybe you're there for learning as opposed to business and making connections. I still don't, like you, I don't understand how this does lead to, right now I'm looking at it as a learning portal and something to explore. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, but yeah, no, I was reading an article about how there's these, how like other social media platforms, collectives of creators have formed together to like TikTok had those various content creator houses, and they all formed together. Instagram's done the same too. Well, now there's this group called Audio Collective, I think, which is a bunch of high profile clubhousers. Is that what a clubhouse person is called? A clubhouse, or is there a cooler term?
Clubbers? I don't know.
A bunch of clubhousers have formed together, and they're attracting the attention of big brands, right? So this is kind of that, the audio influencer is the next big influencer. And the brands that are quick to adopt are the ones that are already talking to these people. So the Audio Collective is like the top clubhousers, again, forming together to support each other and elevate their profiles and make some mega bucks. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where that goes.
Right.
We gotta farm our own collective and figure out how to
on
some of that,
Let's collect some of that influencer cash, people. Let's do it. And then what else did we have?
The last thing we wanted to talk about was a fun term I read yesterday. There was a report by the Globe and Mail, and I think there was something by Bloomberg too, and it's called revenge travel, which already I know everybody's going to be wanting to do this. So in the States already, with the vaccines rolling out quickly, people are booking their trips already, and travel agents are saying people aren't just booking a trip, they're booking multiple trips throughout the next year. Like, people are ready to take time and to spend that money and to travel again. So I totally get it. But I loved that term, revenge travel. So this industry that tanked a year ago, if they've managed to survive, I think they're going to see the most meteoric rebound as well. So yeah, are you ready for revenge travel, Susan?
Not quite yet, Will, but I'll be there quickly. And finally, to round this out, this morning's episode of the 4 a.m. report dropped. We spoke to Debbie Dimoff about the idea. She was awesome. She's awesome.
Yeah, she's got the energy for sure.
Yes, and she's also a very awesome video production editor, Jeremy's mom, and it's amazing. She was talking about mental fitness and the idea of training your mind like you would train your body for the long haul. Yeah. And I've certainly been taking away some of the stuff, including that thing like where you like stop your thought and do this. Like I found myself doing that a few times. So check out that one. We'll have a link below.
Okay, well, Susan, I'll let you go. I think we both have a lot to do today. Nice seeing you again one day in person. Mwah.